Good afternoon. This is Mr. Sadler coming to you live from the internet once more. Today is the MFM2P. This is December the 13th, 2014. I regret to inform you guys that I'm going to be off the rest of this week. I'll be back on Monday. Though thank you to the supply teacher and to Mrs. Moore and Mrs. Ladd and to Matt for helping out for the last few days. I'm going to strongly encourage you guys to stay in the zone here. So if all 3 or 4 of you guys can just sort of wander through the lessons here, don't worry about taking a note for somebody today, Mrs. Moore and Mrs. Ladd, as this note is available for them entirely online in case they're sick today, and they'll be able to get it. It's on YouTube. So this goes out to John and others that tend not to write down the notes or need encouragement. Please make sure you're in your right seats. Mrs. Moore, feel free to put them in their proper places here today. I've heard from the supply teachers that definitely Monday was awful, and maybe some of the rest days I haven't heard from how it went on Tuesday and Wednesday. But for you guys here, this stuff you'll be required to do. If you're not able to work, supply teachers, feel free to be a little stern with them if you would. Okay, so anyway, back to this here. We're moving on today to sine law, and our title is going to be called Solving for Angles. So what we're going to do here is we can use sine law. And by the way, for the supply teacher here today, if I'm going too quickly, feel free to stop it. And somebody just raise their hand and tell them they need a second to copy here. I'll try and go as slow as I can, but I'm not feeling great, and so I'll be going quicker than usual. And secondly, it's hard to gauge from the class for how fast I should be going. Okay, so we're going to say we can use sine law to also solve when you are missing an angle. I will tell you, I don't know how I did that. Whoops. I will tell you when to use sine law, when to use cosine law in this course. I will also give you the equation so you don't need to memorize it. What we're going to do for this, if you remember from before, is that sine law was actually required when we needed to have opposites. So when we needed things that weren't right angle triangles, and before we could use them to find sides, we could also use them as well to use angles. So I'm going to write a little example 1. It's going to be solve for theta. And we're just going to do 3 examples here and make sure that all is well. So if I say to you, I should probably just copy that. If I say sine theta is equal to 0.2, Mac, I'm going to pick on you. How do you get theta by itself here? Yeah, great, exactly. You're going to go sine inverse. So I'm going to say theta equals sine exponent -1, 0.2. Now I'd like everyone to take a second right now and get their calculators out. If your calculators aren't out, do I have a calculator here? I do have a calculator, in fact. So my calculator, I'm going to do the same thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 0.2 and then do inverse sine or second sine. For me, it's going to be inverse. For you guys, it'll probably be second sine, and you should get an angle of 11.5 degrees. So whoever the supply teacher is, I'd like you to hit pause in the video right now and just do a quick poll of the class to see who doesn't get 11.5 degrees. As well, if people need calculators to the supply teacher, there should be some in my desk drawer on the bottom right, which no one should know about, but I have to move it since everyone does know about it. Alright, so that one should be fine. I'm going to move on to the next one. Letter B is just going to say sine theta equals, sorry, my fractions aren't great here. I'm just going to say 5/13. Okay, your calculators are hugely powerful. Okay. Now, Nate, I'm going to pick on you. If I want to get theta by itself, what do I need to do? Yeah, great. We're just going to move the sign across and change it to sine inverse. Okay. On your calculator, you should probably be able to type it out just like that. You don't need to do the 5 over 13 first, depending on how powerful your calculator is. So if you do, whoops, I'll move that out of the way. If you need to do sine inverse, so what I'm going to do mine as 5 divided by 13 equals, and then inverse sine, and I should get 22.6 degrees. Okay, once again, if you can take a quick poll of who was unable to get that. If you weren't, please raise your hand, and one of our fabulous helpers will hopefully get you helped out. Okay, now we're going to actually get into what sine law actually is about here. So example 2 is going to say use sine law to solve the missing angle. And I'm going to copy my first example. Oops, excuse me for a sec. Sorry, I'm using paint here. Sorry about that. Let's copy that. We'll paste that right there. Okay, so it says use sine law to solve the missing angle. So for the supply teacher, you might want to hit pause here and give the kids a chance to write this down. Oops, sorry. I'll edit this before I post it. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so while I'm doing this, text wrapping, that's what I'm looking for. What you guys should be doing is writing down that triangle. Okay, great. So I'm going to use sine law to solve this. The reason I can't use SOHCAHTOA is that it's not a right angle triangle. So I'm going to pick someone at random to recite sine law from memory, and that's going to be Lydia. If she's there, Lydia, go ahead. Can you recite sine law from memory? Whoops. Okay, good. So it's going to be sine A over A equals sine B over B. Okay, excellent, wonderful, tremendous. Okay, so now I'm going to pick on Nick. I'm going to start with my unknown at the top left. What angle am I looking for here? Okay, good, Nick. That's going to be theta. Okay, so I'm going to type in sine of theta. Look at that, even have a theta symbol. Oops. I should say sine of theta. Okay, now Nick, you're not done yet, though. Sine and cos and tan only go with your angles normally, so I'm going to say sine of theta. Now, Nick, what side is related to theta? So if this is angle A, what's side A going to be? Okay, good, 22. Thank you for the hint, Mr. Sadler. Excellent. Okay. All right, Brandon Barr, you're up next. What's my next angle, please? Okay, good. So that's going to be my angle here is going to be 59. So I'm going to say sine of 59. Okay, and you're not done yet, Brandon. I want to get if this is my angle, what's the related side to it? Good, that's going to be 18. So sine 59 goes with 18. All right, now if there's any confusion over this, somebody maybe hit pause right now, whoever the supply teacher is, and just make sure that this is all clear for people. I know definitely Matt can help with this, and everyone else here for the clarity on this. Okay, great. I want to get sine by itself now. Now, Jessica, I'm going to pick on you. That's on the left-hand side. It says sine theta divided by 22. How do you get rid of it divided by 22? Excellent. You're going to multiply by 22. So I'm going to say sine of theta equals 22 sine 59 over 18. Wonderful. Now, if you want to change that to a decimal, you might want to. Whoops, oh, what happened there? You may want to. You don't have to. Your calculators are powerful enough to do it. But I'm going to maybe do a decimal here. Whoops. Where's my calculator? There it is. So I'm going to do, I'll bring that down. I'm going to do 22 times 59 sine equals divided by, oops. I'm going to pretend that sine says 19. Okay, I'm unable to. I should have picked a better example that worked. Ha ha ha. I'm going to change all those 18s to 19s, and I'm going to fix that on here as well. Sorry about that. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing here, but I'm fixing my picture. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this one. I'm going to choose 19. Don't worry, all the other examples work. Okay, so I'm going to change it to a 19 instead of an 18. So I'm going to change that to 22 times sine 59 divided by 19. I should get 0.992. I know there's a lot more decimals than that. Now again, the next step is going to be here. Sorry, I screwed up that first example. The next one hopefully will be a little more clear for people. Caleb, the final step here to get sine by itself is going to be what? Okay, good, sine inverse. So we're going to say theta equals sine inverse 0.992. Now leave that, just that number in your calculator here. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to do inverse sine and get an angle of 83.0 degrees. I have a degree symbol, no I don't. Okay, now I'm going to get everyone to close their eyes and put their heads on their desk for a second. If there's anyone who needs major help on this, raise your hand, please. I'll get one of our lovely helpers to help out. Other than the 19. If the 19 scared you, that's fine. So if you're feeling good, raise your hand on this. If you're feeling somewhat okay, raise your hand. If you're feeling awful, raise your hand, please. Okay, let's move on to example 3 here, which is going to work, hopefully. I'm just joking, this one will. I'm going to say use sine law to solve the missing angle. Okay, and I will, this one does actually work, sorry guys. Okay, so there's my second. I'm going to move this down a little bit here. Okay. Let's go for excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to pick on, next is going to be Bryce. Now Bryce, I want you to be brave, and I want you to recite from memory what sine law is, please. Okay, good. Sine A over A is sine B over B. And if I'm going too quick and the class needs a minute to write this down, to the supply teacher, please feel free and hit pause. Alright, Michael, what's the unknown angle that we're looking for? Okay, good. We're going to put that at the top left because it's easier to solve, so I'm just going to say sine theta. What side is connected to theta? Or what's the opposite? If this is my theta, what side's related to it? Okay, very good. That's 11. Alright, Thomas, you're up. What's the next angle that I know, please? The only other one that's left is 63. Very good. And Thomas, my last side's going to be? Okay, good. 10. Okay. Alright, great. Connor, you're up. I'm going to say sine theta divided by 11. How do you get rid of a divided by 11? Excellent. We're going to multiply by 11. So it's going to be sine theta equals 11. Whoops. Let's start with that. Sine theta equals 11 sine 63 over. Oops. Over 10. Great. Now I'm going to get the supply teacher to hit pause one more time, and everyone take a minute and calculate out what 11 times sine 63 divided by 10 is, please. Jake is going to give us the answer here in a minute. Alright, Jake, can I get the answer here, please? So it's 11 times 63 sine equals divided by 10. 0.9801 is what I got. And hopefully Jake agrees with me. Alright, wonderful. Sydney, how do you get rid of the sine now? Excellent. So theta is sine inverse Alright, now I want you to type that into your computer, please, and tell me what you get. I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to say inverse sine, and I get 78.6 degrees. And hopefully someone can confirm that that's right. I think it is. Okay. Alright, we're going to try one more example here now. I want you guys to try yourself. So whoever the supply teacher is, give the kids a few chance. And if all my helpers can go around and wander and help here, please, to try this one out yourselves, because you're going to get a beautiful choice assignment on this right after this example. So give a try on this, see what you can do. And we'll go, so whoops, I'll have to go to the next page, start with that. Okay, example 4 says, and I quote, use sine law to solve the missing angle. Sorry about that. Okay, go ahead and pause. Okay, great, we're back. Brandon Adams, can you give me sine law, please, from memory or from the page? Okay, great. That's sine A over A equals sine B over B. Okay, wonderful. Emma, what angle are we looking for here? Theta is correct, so I'm going to say sine theta. Now, Emma, what side is related to sine theta? Very good, 13, because they're directly across from each other. So we're going to say sine theta over 13 equals, who's next? Ashley. I know you're not going to want to talk, but I'm going to make you talk here. My angle here is going to be, the other angle is 51, good. My other side's 10. Wonderful. Okay, so sine theta over 13 equals sine 51 over 10. Can everyone close their eyes, please, and put your head on your desk? Please raise your hand if you got that before I wrote that on the board. Okay, please raise your hand if you did not get that before I wrote that down on the board. Okay, for all my helpers, if you can hopefully watch what that was there. So I'm going to say sine theta equals 13 sine 51 over 10. Okay, so I'm going to type this in my calculator again. Oh my goodness, not again. Sorry folks, we got an error, so theta is impossible. We got sine theta. Oops, sorry guys, I should have picked a better example. Hopefully if you get to this far, you'll see how to do it there. Okay, so I apologize about that one again. And hopefully Mrs. Moore fixed that up as we were going along there through. Alright, so your homework for today is going to be that choice assignment. So there's 4 of these that are on there. I'm going to recheck them to make sure they all work before I print them out, because I'll be saving them to the website as soon as I am done this video. Hopefully this was somewhat clear for people. Tomorrow we're going to do the same thing, solving angles with cosine law. Next week on Monday, I will be back on Monday. The doctors gave me the okay, so we'll sort of recap, have one quick day of recapping all of the new trig, and then move on to some new stuff on Tuesday. Alright, thanks everybody, see ya.